Atención, Wilson Manyoma, Borbona.
Oh, can you do us a favor?
What you need? Ay, mi madre, el abanico, coño.
Yeah. Masters of None, episode 75. 75. I know 75 was supposed to be on Monday. For everybody who didn't not see it on Instagram, I was sicky. I was sick, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to make an irresponsible decision.
Let's move this way.
Move this way.
More. As weird as it is, I don't know why the camera's so far back, but we'll be good right there.
Is it focused?
Nope. Let's go back. We're going to stay right there. Fuck it. This is what we're going to do. It'll stay focused. It's right here where the mic is at. So we'll continue. Episode 75.
Episode 75. I don't know if we're dark or if I'm turning around and it looks like we're just we're dark.
We're a little dark because the lights are a little different, but I like the look. It's dramatic.
We did change the lighting up a little bit in an attempt to get some of this glare off of the pops, and then what ended up happening was we ended up going with the Between Two Ferns look.
Yeah, and it's all good because this is dramatic, you know? It's the way it should be.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, so we didn't come on Monday. Sorry about that, guys. I was sick. That's it. I was sick. I didn't want to get Justin sick. Yeah. I didn't have anything that nobody needs to worry about. Stomach bug. That's it.
That's right. He didn't have that word that you can't say so that they don't bury your video.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Don't want to say it.
No, don't even type it in the chat. But yeah, so that's why we didn't do a Thursday episode, but we're back. That's why we didn't do a Monday episode, but we're back.
Yeah, and Thursday's pop. And Thursday's pop. This is payday for somebody. There's at least somebody in the chat.
100% getting paid for this.
For sure. You got to be.
Yerp. There goes my speakers and my ears. Are we incredibly loud? The music.
Told you.
No, but look, I turned it down.
Yeah, it's got to come down more. Sorry, that intro comes in a little hot.
You know what? You guys are going to watch me do it live. Look, watch.
There it is.
I'm going to turn it down even more. You know what's interesting? When I play it back, it's not like super loud.
Yeah, it's
but people say it's loud, so I believe it. Like I wonder.
I think it's the contrast between the music that starts, you know, like the waiting music, because it's low. It's a lo-fi beat, you know, and I turned it down, you know, purposely to not be too intrusive. But then that comes in contrast, bah, you know, smack you with it, bing.
Maybe we taper it, you know. Maybe we taper it just a little bit.
Maybe just a bit.
So it blends in.
Maybe just a bit.
I don't know. Well, we'll send Justin back the file so he could put his on it.
Yeah, see, Spaz said exactly what I said in the chat. Music was at like 1%, and then the pop and jam was at like 4,000. See, that's the thing is people turn up their volume to possibly accommodate the intro music, the waiting music, and then when the intro kicks in, it's fucking smack you, smick-a-dack.
Yeah, so I apologize, but yeah, we turned it down.
We did.
Yeah, we started that. We did easy 60 episodes with that thing on max.
Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry about that.
Which is hysterical. So what's up, man? How's your week going? You ready for America's made up holiday?
Yeah,
or the world's made up holiday?
What are you talking about?
Valentine's Day?
Oh yeah. I'm ready, man. I haven't been able to make a reservation at the restaurant we wanted to eat at, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I was late to the party. What do you want? I guess we're doing takeout. I mean, what do you want?
I don't know.
I failed. I dropped the ball. What do you want?
I haven't made a reservation either, but I'm super happy because just last night, my girl goes, because we were getting food last night, and she goes, I want to get sushi, and I was like, I wasn't really in the mood for sushi.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood for sushi. Sushi's a very specific thing.
Yeah, it's good. You know what it is too is that I was gonna go get it picked up or get it Uber Eats, and I feel like it's very expensive. Like
It's an expensive Uber Eats order.
It's not even only expensive Uber Eats, but it's something expensive for you to like get made, then wait for it to get picked up, then wait for it to get delivered. Like it's something you have to eat fresh. You know what I'm saying? Uber Eats is better for like fast food and things that are going to taste the same whether you eat them today or next Thursday. Something like a delicious raw fish should be eaten like fresh.
I can't disagree with you on that. I agree.
They put that shit in a warm bag. This motherfucker don't know what's in it, so he puts it in his hot bag.
Yeah, he put it in a Domino's delivery bag from his second job. Yeah, stuck it right in there.
That bag's at 150 degrees. Then you get your spicy spicy tuna, and it's like semi-cooked on the top.
Yeah, now it's a tuna fucking tempura.
Tuna tempura, yeah.
Excuse me.
So, anyways, it takes me away from the story. The original story was the reason why I know we're getting. So she says, "You know what? It's okay. We don't have to get sushi tonight. We'll get sushi for Valentine's Day." And I was like, "Holy fuck! Thank God I didn't make the reservation at the place I wanted to go to."
Yo,
I told you I wanted to go to an Italian place.
I know you did. You love Italian, and
dude. I love Italian food.
You got to go to locale, son.
I think because Italians like, that. I don't know. Their food's so good.
It's delicious comfort food, man. It's just really good food. You can always get a really good, piece of chicken there. You can get good pasta. The sauces are good. It's a pretty consistently good cuisine.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Yeah. I just love that shit. I can't lie.
If you had to pick one cuisine for the rest of your life, or like one country that you're going to eat the food from for maybe not the rest of your life, for the next 10 years.
For the next 10 years. Damn. Now, in terms of what I would want to eat, I'd want to do Italian. But if I want to live healthy for those 10 years,
yeah,
the best thing I'd probably say like Mediterranean, probably go like Greek or something like that.
Oh, dude.
And then you just be able, you'd be shredded by the end of those 10 years.
Yeah, you think I grow a beard? Those dudes are hairy.
You might grow a beard.
Huh.
You might grow a beard, you might turn into stone. I don't know. Depends.
Okay.
Everyone's like, damn, you guys should have skipped Thursday too.
Yeah, no. This is ever since I got, and what I got was like supposedly like a stomach bug, right? Because my kid got a stomach bug, and then everybody who has kids knows their kid gets them sick. So classic fucking kid get you sick. My kid got me sick. But for some reason, I feel much better, but my throat's still fucking dry as hell, like the Sahara.
Yeah, I mean, I have some kind of lingering bit of a little bit of a cough myself. It's like a little bit more bothersome when I lay down.
Oh, what's that mean?
I don't know. I think it means
Are you sleeping funny?
No, I mean I'm good. I just find that.
How's your breathing?
It gets a little. My breathing is good.
Congestion good?
Yeah. So I was, so I'm not concerned about any like long effects of, that thing we had around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't anticipate it being any of that, because it's not affecting the things that typically get affected in those cases. So I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm holding it together.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing well.
Back of the throat. Spaz says frog in the throat feeling. I don't know what that expression means, but I just know for me, my throat is just a little dry. No big deal. Not as dry as the girl's throat who was leaked on Nelly's timeline, sucking them off.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I didn't even. I didn't even know what was going on. So how'd he do?
Listen, you know what's funny? A little bit of context. The rapper Nelly. Everybody knows Nelly. Very successful musician, successful entrepreneur,
successful clothing line, sports team owner.
Like Nelly's. If you guys don't know, Nelly's kind of a fucking big deal.
Bro, he's still one of the highest selling rappers of all time. You know, he's like still like top 5.
And it was like the Sweat and whatever. He made like a double album, and he went
Sweatsuit.
No, it wasn't. It was a Sweatsuit.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
I think it was.
It was Sweat and Suit.
That was the whole. You gonna look it up?
No, I'm propping my phone.
You liar.
No, I was propping my phone. No, but anyways, go ahead. You can look it up and then tell us how many records he sold. But Nelly,
it's called Sweatsuit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh my God.
So the guy's very successful, right? I I think he accidentally somehow posts like a blowjob video on his timeline. No big deal, right? But now everybody's like coming for him because the guy's not hung like a horse. As if it's not enough that he's like a fucking 100 millionaire. Not like he's not like a $1 million, $2 million man.
Yeah.
Now he's like a $300 million man. Like the guy,
Excuse me.
you know, and he's shredded.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. The guy could dance. He's, you know,
He's an athlete.
I don't want to seem weird. I don't want to
Andale. Mama ia.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh.
The guy's also got to have a hog.
Yeah.
Where are these standards coming from?
I'm telling you, bro, it's just like the never-ending checklist. It's a never-ending checklist of the modern woman. No, let me stop.
You know what's mad funny? It's because it works the other way too. Okay. Because if you only have a hog, that's enough too. You don't gotta have the 300 million.
Yeah, it's only enough to a point though. You know, she's like, you need the car again. Like you need what the. You know, that's when you get to that point. Like, got to add them to your credit card and shit. You want nothing to do with that.
That's super funny. No, but yeah, I think it's funny that people are talking about it and that they're giving him shit. You know, I don't think he gives a fuck.
It's it's that unrealistic standard. You know, and it's messed up because there's a lot of parts of like women that if they aren't endowed in those areas, there's procedures. There ain't no procedure to give you a few more. You know what I mean?
They can't do nothing. They got to be able to do something by now.
Nah, man, you could pull on that thing a little bit. Maybe that's about it.
That's it. You're not gonna. There's nothing they could do,
bro. No, you don't think that this would be a thing?
Dude, you don't think there's like implants and stuff that you could do.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you lose your member in like some kind of tragic accident, yeah, they could put something in there that you puff it up and it just, they could do that.
They can't just add a piece in the middle.
Yeah, I mean you could, but what's the deal? Is it always you gotta like put it to 12 every day and then just let it loose when you need to? You go from 6 to 12 all day long.
I don't know. You think you strap that puppy to your leg? They give you one of those like things that make sure you keep your socks up, but this one keeps your joint strapped to the side of your leg?
Maybe, but it's like a kickstand at that point, right? What do you do?
I don't know. You can hold yourself up at the bus station, though. That's definitely cool. You can read the paper.
You definitely could. You can go hands free.
Yeah. Give yourself a 2-footer. That's exactly what would happen. Because you know how when women with breast implants, you see every variation from like a mild implant to like women who get the most ridiculous implants. You know, if the second they start making stuff that gives dudes bigger hogs, someone's gonna be walking around with like a 4-foot hammer.
Yeah, you know that lady that like smashes the beer cans.
Yeah.
Please, there's gonna be people hitting 400-foot bombs in City Field with their shit. They're gonna be like, yeah, you think that was cool? Zip, knocking them out of the park.
There's gonna be some dude training to pull up Thor's hammer with that thing.
You already know, man. He's going to be like, yo, yeah. After a few drinks, he's going to be like, yo, I bet you can do a pull-up on it. Great, bro, I got you. Get the ladder. It's going to be all kinds of ridiculous shit.
Oh, my God.
You can't, man. You can't. They can't. They can never do that. Because if they did that, it wouldn't be fair. Then the world's not equal. Then the world's not equal. Imagine if Jeff Bezos was able to swing something crazy. I'd be like, this is unfair.
Dude, when you got money like that, he's definitely got the ability to get something done, because they change your eye color in certain countries.
They change everything. They could change everything if they really want. I mean, eye color's tough.
No, they change. There's a procedure.
But does it look real?
To get it.
Does it look real, or does it look like when I was in high school and everybody was getting those contact lenses from the hair place?
The dude I seen that had it, he made his shit gray, so his shit just didn't look real because nobody has gray eyes.
Damn, what if I hit them Twilight eyes?
That's the thing, that people go over there and they get the most ridiculous shit. So none of it, it doesn't look real, but it is real. So they get like red, green, ridiculous colors.
They would. I mean, that's the reason, right? That would be the cool way to do it. You go purple, something like that. You go a little different. That would be what makes sense.
I don't know. Spaz says there is a procedure.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's a bad side effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that side effect.
You don't want that lifelong ED.
Having a one that works is better than having a big one that doesn't work.
That is a fact.
Yeah,
words to live by.
Yeah, so if you're going to think about getting some inches added,
Yikes.
Yeah, just tie a knot to it and then hang a master lock from that knot. My dad always said that'll give you
Hang a master
lock. Yeah, you get a string and you tie a knot, and you get a master lock and you tie another knot around that. Yeah, and then you just like do like a quick right squat. It's like an exercise, 2-3 hours a day every day.
What do? You just let it swing?
Yeah, well, that's the advanced technique.
Oh,
You
that's the
don't start
advanced
like that.
technique. Oh,
Yeah, you don't start that way.
They're like, all right, you want to add an inch here? You want to add a foot? Page 6.
That's so fucking funny.
That shit is wild, bro.
You want to talk about Snoop Dogg acquiring Death Row Records, which is a pretty fucking huge deal.
That's a big ass deal. Like, to me, I'm like, you want to talk about something that's going to go down in history right here? I mean, that right there is groundbreaking. I mean, he started his career on that label in 1993, and then he goes this many years later, after all the crazy things that happened with that label, Suge Knight and all that stuff, and then fast forward so many years, and now Snoop Dogg owns the label.
Insane. I wonder if he had any like masters or anything that were over there that were under Death Row.
I mean, could be. I mean, there's some situations now where really strange things happen with ownership and masters.
That's where my mind goes. Like, I wonder, what does he have now? What does he own now? Because what does Death Row own?
Yeah.
Are there Tupac songs in there?
It's tricky because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what? I'm like, does a person have to own these masters directly, or can they belong to the LLC? I guess they could belong to the company. He might have just bought maybe he just licensed the name.
I don't know, but when we discussed this earlier, that's like the first thing that came to my head. I was like, damn, I wonder what comes along with this, right? Because listen, if you buy a dealership, you know what comes along with it, right? It's inventory, all the cars that go in the motherfucking lot.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. You could be right. But I think Tupac. I think they gave the masters to like Afeni Shakur, like Tupac's mom. I think she had something to do with ownership of some of the masters. I think so.
Not just Tupac, but you know what I mean in general.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know what's really interesting? Also, like, what's he going to do with this, right? Because I feel like there's a certain kind of criteria of rapper that you need to be on a label like Death Row, right? I don't think he changes like the image now. I think it still needs to be like, like a super gangster, like West Coast, like real fucking rapper.
He did say that he wanted to take the label in like a he's excited to lead it in this like new direction, I think he said.
Oh, did he say that? Okay.
Or a new generation or something like that, he was saying. I just hope he signs like real legit talent. I hope he can bring it back to like a place where rappers had to be actually good to get on, where that was respected.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what he does in the sense of, who he decides to bring in too, right? Particularly just because the West Coast is a super interesting like place for rap music, because there's a lot of music there, but it's not really like mainstream played music, and it's not even mainstream played in California.
Yeah. Well, in California it is like
that's one of the things that I was listening to on the No Jumper podcast. They were talking about how like Los Angeles doesn't play like Los Angeles rappers, like that they don't even play their own music, which is and maybe there are like certain channels, but like the mainstream music doesn't play like it's just like over here. We spin some New York records, but we're spinning like whoever's paying them.
Exactly.
It's the same 10 songs all day. But one of the interesting things that a record label has the ability to do is to put money into artists to get them on those radio, or to push the radio stations to play their artists. So I'm curious to see how that affects that as well.
Yeah, I want to know. I can't wait to see. I'm excited for it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see. I hope big things come.
I think they will. I think it's going to be good for the label, and I think this is it's gonna interest people. I think that people are actually going to be kind of waiting for this. Now, I don't want them to drop the ball.
Yeah.
In the sense of, of now you we need you to deliver here.
Yeah.
Save us from this, from the only artist that comes out with fire shit consistently being Drake. Like, can we get somebody else to drop something?
Yeah, we need another big artist from the West Coast.
Not even the West Coast, because I'm sure he's gonna try to bring that together, because he lived through that whole East Coast West Coast thing, and I don't think he's into like the division anymore.
No, not about the division, just about the fact of them having another big staple artist. They really don't have like that many in comparison.
You know, they got your man.
So like even like you Kendrick Lamar, like he's a pretty big name, but he's not like, I don't know. I feel like you think about like Nicki Minaj is a huge mega star. Cardi B is a mega star. There's a lot of people, not just the East Coast, right? But these are just two mega stars that I'm thinking of. They haven't had somebody like that in a very long time. Like,
on the West Coast, you mean?
Yeah, in terms of music. I'm sure they got a lot of successful actors and, you know, and athletes and all that stuff. I'm talking about like in hip hop. Like who's their mega star?
I mean, they have had some.
I could very well recently. I'm just saying, I could very well be wrong. I wonder, like, because they do have very talented artists. You know, they got.
I don't even know. I'm not looking this up, but yeah, I'm sure there's somebody. But
I don't even know what the fucking search criteria would be.
I was just gonna look up like
pop and West Coast artists
like highest selling West Coast rappers or active.
Nipsey, YG. They're not even. They're but they're good artists. They're not like mega stars the same way, you know, some like who was their last like
Kendrick.
International?
Kendrick. Yeah,
Okay.
Kendrick was probably their last, or you know, The Game was really big, but even so, he wasn't as big as like a Cardi B or a Nicki. Their next level. Yeah, I mean, it would be tough to say. I mean, a lot of the bigger artists, like there's a lot of people killing it from Texas right now. Stuff like that. I don't know. That's a good question. I might have to look that up at some point.
Spaz says he's sure they're going to promote it at the Super Bowl. That's kind of funny how it comes out. This news comes out so close to the Super Bowl, where you know, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige. Who's the other one?
What are you putting together?
Are performing.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Eminem is performing?
We talked about this.
Who gives a fuck about Eminem? Why is this always like, God, please, bro, go away.
I said that shit.
Go away. Go away.
Yeah, I was right. But I'm missing one person. Kendrick, your boy, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, my
Dr. Dre,
God.
Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige.
Well, you know what? I'll take that back if Eminem and Dre do old Eminem records. If they do like Forgot About Dre.
And they got Dre tied up on the stage.
Bro.
That would be hard.
Bro, if they did Forgot About Dre, I'm like, oh, man. And the other one, what's the other one? When they play both sides.
Oh, you're talking about when he's robbing the bank.
Yeah,
he's going inside.
walk in the door of this liquor store and try to get money out the drawer. You better think of the consequence. Who are you? I'm your motherfucking conscience. That's nonsense. That shit would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be super hard too. Damn, bro. You know what? If it was just them, I'd be much more happy.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, because I know it's gonna be like I got loyalty and loyalty.
How long is that show even? They should have just gave it to M and Dre. Honestly, I'm tired of seeing Snoop on shit. I don't want to watch Snoop on anything. I don't want to watch him fucking co-host fucking boxing matches.
No.
I don't want to like hear his commentary on like football and shit like that. I like him. He's great. He's funny. He's like the same character wherever he goes. But like I'm like inundated with like the dog.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can tolerate him, but sometimes it's a little much for me.
Yeah.
It's a little much for me. Like, he was good on JRE, on the Rogan Experience.
Yeah. Because that's like the real him.
Yeah, but he kept taking out that mic sometimes, and it was a little too much.
God.
It was like a little too loud, and I'm like, yo, that's hilarious. I was like, but you got to give young Jamie a heads up. You got to tell him you have that before you start the show.
Yeah.
So he could throw a compressor on your channel real quick and just crank it, like do something like that.
Snoop Dogg went on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he had like this wireless microphone that he kept just pulling out and like shouting into it. It was funny, I get it, but it's like one of those things. It's like this soundboard, right? Yeah, I'm sure I could strap things to it that are funny.
Yeah.
But how long are they funny for?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was doing it and it had like the echo effect and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, reverb on it.
Yeah, it was funny, but But yeah, it was sometimes it's a little much. Like he was way too much at that boxing event, that Triller event. I couldn't take that. But I am excited for the record label. I'm excited for Death Row.
Damn, bro. I hope Dre and M come out and
he should redo that scene. You remember when they were giving the speech up at the awards, and Suge Knight jumped up and was like, "If you tired of your producer being in all the videos."
You talking about Snoop? Snoop should redo it.
Yeah, he should redo it. That shit would be hilarious if he'd be like, "Yo, you sick and tired of all these rappers being trash? You sick and tired of all that? Well, come to Death Row.
Come to Death Row.
Come to Death Row."
Yeah, that shit would be cool. Damn, I'm actually excited about the halftime show now. I'm never really excited about it. I
was excited when it was J-Lo and Shakira.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, that's exciting.
Damn, son, that was woo. Yo, everybody burn the wings. Everybody burn the wings, bro.
Yeah, but for the most part, like I usually I don't know. I feel like the halftime shows, I usually step away. I have seen a lot of them, but for the most part, I'm never really super interested in them.
Yeah, I think the halftime show, along with the commercials, has become its own separate audience to the game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's some people that they're going to get food when the game's on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Damn, you know what? I never noticed that, but they really made this Super Bowl experience completely it's for everybody now.
Yeah, it is. It's the commercials are. You'll see. You may not even see a commercial you're that familiar with during the Super Bowl. They're all original programming.
They're all brand new.
Yeah, they're brand new, and you won't see them again. It's so weird. It's like a premiere, and then you'll see it again. I'm damn, where's that? Where does that Doritos commercial from the Super Bowl? You may not see it again.
That was one of the things you used to go back to school. I remember you'd be like, which one was your favorite? Before class started, even the teacher was like, all right, guys, what was your favorite commercial?
Remember when he said "Taste the Rainbow"? That was my favorite.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. But one thing I'm happy about is that the Super Bowl is not being aired on ESPN.
No, it's not.
I'm not the biggest fan of ESPN at the moment.
ESPN is disappointing us right now.
I'm not the biggest fan of ESPN at the moment. Being a person that kind of stands up for, everybody, I think nobody should be singled out.
Yeah.
And they're releasing, a video came out on a company by an independent news source, an independent journalist. His name is James O'Keefe. He has a company that he owns called Project Veritas. And, they seek out to uncover different kind of corruption, different kind of things like that in politics and big business, stuff like that. And it's all, not all of it, but some of it happens to be secret recordings, video recordings and stuff. He did one, I think, years ago on Planned Parenthood. He did one on Acorn. And then they also get a lot of things whistleblowers send them stuff, kind of like WikiLeaks. You remember WikiLeaks?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a similar thing. So people send him stuff. And there have been countless reports that have come out to be true, different corruption, different officials. And now there's been video submitted from a whistleblower at ESPN that's kind of just talking about the blatant racism, shown toward the white employees there. And there's so many people. There's employees of color. There's employees that are white, and they all think they're secretly talking to their friend in confidence.
Yeah, it's a guy with a secret camera on. When you're watching
and he works there, and he's friends of theirs. And he even said they probably won't ever talk to me again. He's a lot of them, because I was secretly recording them. They didn't know. That is, I feel bad for those people for being, for him exposing them in this light. But it depends on how you feel. If you feel that this is something that needs to be brought out, or something that, something that needs to be done. It was just pretty crazy to me when they were all saying that, people saying that they're poorly treated. And to me, I mean, no particular group of people should be intentionally poorly treated based on their race, or based on their beliefs, or based on their religion, their sexual preference, their gender. I think everybody deserves an equal opportunity. And I think that there's been a movement in some ways to kind of put a group outside of that inclusion, and it's sad, so, me personally, I canceled my subscription to ESPN. I mean, I'm engaged to a white woman, that's, and so who would I be if I supported that?
But it's not only ESPN too. We're seeing it with Showtime with the new show they're releasing.
Yeah.
It's all white.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be all white.
Everything's gonna be
That's
all
what
white.
it's called.
Excuse me.
And it's essentially a bunch of D-list celebrities that are just all talking about what they dislike about white people. And I'm
How
like,
is this okay?
I'm like, how? I'm like, this is craziness to me. I'm like, how is this even allowed to be discussed? I'm like, geez. I'm like, I wish it was about Hispanic people so I could laugh about it or I could watch it. I'm like, I don't know if not being that, I'd almost rather, I would feel more comfortable if it was about my people, like, because I feel like I would have a way to feel about it. Like this, I just feel so uncomfortable watching this. I'm like, this is
the trailer. We were watching it yesterday. I got 38 seconds into it, and I don't want to seem like a fucking like a sissy girl or anything, or a sissy boy.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to watch this. This is like you said, it's like cringy. I got like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable.
I was like, why are we? This is a documentary just bashing like white Americans.
I'm like, this is
I'm
weird.
like, who are you guys even talking about? Are you guys just talking about like Southern white Americans?
Yeah.
Or this is like all white Americans?
Yeah.
Like, who?
Like, give us some context, because this is crazy.
Who falls in this group? Like, who's white? Are Italians white?
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Are
I'm like,
Germans German?
I just wonder how many rooms this went through to then be passed to be allowed out. I'm like, there should be nothing. You shouldn't. A large corporation like this should not be producing any kind of content on this scale. You know how much money they spent to make this intentionally insensitive and pretty much racist content. I'm like, this is crazy to me.
No, it's not even pretty much racist.
It's racist content.
Racist.
It's blatantly racist, and I'm just like, man,
they couldn't do this about
anybody
any other
else.
group of people.
If this came out about Puerto Ricans, everybody would be up in arms.
Imagine it wouldn't have got past like the third dude.
Nah, my mom would have knew about it before me.
Yeah,
it
wouldn't have got past the third dude, and the second dude would have been fired for it getting past him.
Yeah, the person who brought the idea up,
both of them.
That's it.
Out of here. Cancel.
Out of here.
Never to work again.
Nope. But
can you imagine they did something like everything that I hate about the LGBT community?
Oh my God, forget it. You can't, and rightfully so. You shouldn't be able to do that about anybody. But for some reason, I mean, you're allowed to do this kind of stuff about white people. It's just very weird, very
Imagine
odd.
They did Christians?
Yeah, no way. You can't imagine that about a religious group, anything like that. Anyways, yeah, that's what ends up happening. So somebody says in the chat, when you try to balance a scale by adding weight to the other side instead of taking the weight off the heavy part. Exactly. So what ends up happening is that pendulum, so to speak, swings so far that it ends up, when it comes back, it goes even farther. It's almost like overcorrection. Mm-hmm. Right, it's like Akash Singh was talking about that on Joe Rogan, because they canceled Apu's character on The Simpsons.
No, I did know that, and I didn't get to click on that video, but I did see the clip.
Yeah, I heard him talking about it, and he's like, and when he breaks it down, like he breaks down the character of Apu from The Simpsons, he's like, if you think about it, he said every single other character was a static character. They stayed the same. They worked the same job. He's like, you saw the evolution of this character. He said he came here. He told you where he came from. He opened a business. He got married. He had children. He's like, all these different things happened throughout the course of his life. He was actually he was the only character bringing the American dream to that show. Yeah. He's like, could they have rewritten some of the jokes? He's like, could they have done that, made it a little more contemporary? He's like, sure. He's like, but to completely get rid of the character entirely, he's like, that's he's like, I don't necessarily agree with that. So,
if enough people cry about it, they just erase it.
See, but it's funny because here you have a man who's of that descent, and he's like, I don't mind this, just change a little bit of it. Just like you. So who's saying that it's not okay? Like,
it's the same people who made Latinx.
Who's calling us Latinx?
Who the fuck recommended Latinx? It doesn't even work in any Latin American country. It doesn't work in Spanish.
No,
we would never have said that.
No, Latinx. No, that's that. We don't want to be called that. Like, we don't want to be called that shit.
Don't bring us in. Don't involve us in whatever you got. Whatever course correction you got going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't overcorrect this way. Like Latinx. Like, before you know it, it's gonna cut all the way back. They're just gonna call us like L. You know, it's like, come on, guys, like let's stop doing this. Like cut that out.
The Southerners. Nothing wrong with being Southerners.
Yeah, yeah, right.
No, it's weird. It's
I don't get it. It's this weird, like we're getting into like a silly space.
We're in a pretty silly space.
We're in a silly space right now where it's just weird. We're changing the M&Ms, you know, I mean, we're adding X on the end of Latin, it's just a very strange time. Like, I don't know. Stop the overcorrection.
There was I know we talked about this before, but since we're bringing it up, there was a survey that was taken where they surveyed Latinos, Latinas, or Latinxes.
Yes.
And 60% of us said that we didn't want it.
Yeah.
60%. That's a pretty.
Or they didn't know about it.
And I think the other one was like that they that this didn't come from like Latinos. Like we didn't say this.
No.
I mean, that was like the other vote.
Yeah, it was like, who do you think made this up? Like, definitely wasn't me. It was some lady named Peggy in an office.
Yeah.
That thought this was a good idea. I'm like, no. Can we? Hey, excuse me. Can I like have a say?
Oh, Pedro, no, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Your mom's tamales were great last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You're back again with some tamales. Okay. How do you say it? Tamale? You know, it's. I have no explanation for why we've gone so far. I mean, it's just strange.
Well, I think one of the worst parts of it all, or most I don't want to say worst parts of it, but one of the most interesting parts of it all is like stuff like that show making it onto like mainstream television, like our mainstream streaming platforms.
Yeah.
It's like so interesting that this will like get past, and like if you don't want to watch this, then like you're racist, right?
Yeah,
like
it's like, what?
why, you don't like it? Well,
Yeah.
you don't like it when they make fun of the oppressors. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, wait a second. What are we talking about?
You don't want to
here?
make fun of Master. It's like it's not cool to make fun of anybody.
No. Yeah, just leave them. Like, let everything be. Like, the reason why this continues to be a thing is I honestly think people keep breathing life into certain issues, and just let them go away. Just try your best to just continue to move forward, and if things come up, we address them. But, I think when we make a point to continue to dwell on certain issues, we continue to feed the fire. And I think let's just do our best to just, do what we can.
Yeah.
That's it.
They found out what happened to Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget. So they found out actually the cause of death, because we discussed Bob Saget and we talked about how we were just kind of almost relieved that he, that they found it to be no foul play in his death. But the outcome, the actual reason that they say that he passed, like, it's a little different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it appears that he was struck in the back of the head with something, or he hit the back of his head against something.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something cardiac related, because typically, I mean, you look at his age, you look at like the way, like he died when like no one was around and it was sudden.
Nope, he's probably looking for the remote.
Yeah, they said it was blunt force trauma to the back of the head. So I actually don't know, where did they find? Oh, they found him in bed, right? So
yeah, they said that he went to sleep.
Yeah, like
that most likely he hit himself and then just went to sleep. And in case you guys don't know this, and I'm not a clinician, but I'm pretty fucking sure if you get hit in the head, you should not go to bed right away.
Yeah, no, that's not something, if you have a significant blow to the head, you should probably try to stay up, because more than likely if you get tired, that's a sign of concussion. And then, if you don't get things checked.
Why is it that if you get a concussion, you go to sleep, you could just never wake up?
Because you can, go to sleep and then you could have some kind of like internal hemorrhage in your brain, or your brain will swell from potential trauma. And then at that point, you're pretty much sleeping through crucial time that you should be getting treatment.
Oh, okay. Your body don't just wake you up like, yo, something's going on up there.
It depends. If the swelling gets bad enough, you start to see things like seizures, things like that, and things that'll kind of incapacitate you from being able to go and seek help. There's stuff like that. I actually know somebody that passed from he got into a car accident, didn't go to the hospital, said he felt fine and stuff. He walked out, there weren't any visible injuries on him, and he died in his sleep from trauma to his head. He ended up having a seizure, and like he was found like pretty much taking his last breath by one of his siblings.
Damn, that's terrible.
Sorry. Nah, shit's awful. It was years ago, but But still, I mean, that kind of stuff happens. You know, it's important. You got to get that checked, man. Yeah, it can cause that too. Yeah. So in the chat, somebody said blood loss can cause tiredness, similar to getting tired when you're freezing to death, which is true. Hypothermia, that's actually, it's like a slow gradual. You go out like Jack Dawson. You know what I'm saying? Never let go, Jack. How about you just move over?
Yeah.
And let him get on that.
We could both get on this surfboard.
Yeah, this chinero is huge. You know, why can't we both get on this thing?
That's mad funny because you do see it in movies too when people are freezing. They go, "I'll just go to bed."
Yeah, that is how it feels. That's how it feels. You know, that's what happened to the girl in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, they found her dead, sleeping.
Yeah, man.
In a fetal position.
Yeah, man. It's a weird thing, I'm sure, but I'm sure that's some kind of, you know, almost like your body's like mechanisms of protecting your, you know, kind of your well-being. Like there's certain things that just shut your body down. Like that's that shock from like you get your like arm chopped off or something like that. Now that I don't really know exactly what causes that shock knockout. Like I don't know if there's got to be some kind of disconnection between the spinal cord, like in the central nervous system, like the spinal cord to the brain. But I don't know what causes that. I don't know, because some guys get knocked out because of that rotation. You know, like boom, and I think there's just like a short circuit there for a second and it puts you out. But then there's other guys that go out even if their head is completely still. Like let's say their head is against the ring and they get, you know, when they're getting ground and pounded, they might still go out without that torque on the neck. So I'm not sure exactly what the mechanism is that causes that.
There's a couple clickers in there.
That knockout.
And you hit one of those puppies.
Yeah, there's a little space bar in there.
And things just, you know, and the Bluetooth just falls out.
Yo, exactly, bro. It's like somebody pulled the plug on your Alexa.
You're hyperextending those wires in there. Everything's connected, you know?
Facts.
You pull one of those wires hard enough. I always thought it was just like your brain saving you. It's like, go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't think it is in terms of like a blunt force knockout. I think that's like an interruption of, you know, it's like a reboot. You know, It's like kind of, you know, when you drop your phone too hard, it'll reset or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it's not like getting choked out, right? They're different.
Yeah, being choked out is a cut off of blood supply. So that's like, essentially, it's like, that's why I like chokes. Like, because chokes are, no matter how big you are, you have two carotid arteries. So no matter what, I don't care how much you work out, your carotid artery is in the same spot and it's just as accessible. So when you have these two carotids, you just cut that off. So it's essentially just blocking the blood to your brain and then you just go to sleep. So that's why if you let somebody go, they'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But if you hold that, you cause what's called an anoxic brain injury, which is, you know, now you could potentially be like in a vegetative state following that. If there's too long of a period without oxygen to the brain. Start
burning neurons.
Yeah.
You don't get those back.
Nah, man. You end up like, essentially you get like parts of like your brain, you know, it's like, because that's the same thing that happens in a stroke, and that's why little portions of your brain will die with a stroke. It's like you're causing injury to that, essentially tissue death in that location.
Is it because of lack of like a blood flow?
Exactly. So
to that portion of the brain?
Exactly. So this is even worse than a stroke because now you're talking about cutting off blood supply to the entire brain.
Damn. I never thought about that in terms of a stroke, but you're right. It's a blood clot, right, to the brain, so it is the stopping of it.
Same thing with a heart attack. A heart attack is a blockage in your carotid, in your coronary arteries, which are the arteries that wrap around your heart. So if one of those gets occluded and blocks all blood supply, the area of the muscle that's fed by that blood now is not receiving that nutrient or that oxygen, and then that part of the heart will die. So after this is why after somebody has a cardiac event like a heart attack, it can still be detected in future tests. It's now part of your history. Like that little portion of your heart will be dead.
Oh.
And you can see it on future tests, like future scans, like PET scans. Like
people could have had like small heart attacks and not really have known what they had, and then they go and they'll be like, "Oh, you had a heart attack.
You had some kind of little cardiac event here." I mean, typically it's not something you just don't notice. I mean, because it's something that needs to be addressed. It's a pretty significant set of symptoms that you feel when you're having a cardiac event, when you're having a heart attack or something. So people sometimes they'll be like, no, it's indigestion or something, and they'll go throughout the day and then go to the hospital, and then they have significant injury because that was prolonged lack of blood flow to that part of the muscle. That's why if you go, it's literally time saves your heart, just like time saves your brain. The faster you get treatment with some kind of ischemic, because it's ischemia, that's what it's called when the blood is blocked. So some kind of ischemic event, whether it be in your brain, whether it be in your heart, the faster you get treatment, the less damage there is. Like, let's say if you have a heart attack and you get to the hospital very quickly, they can do what's called a cardiac catheterization, right? So they go in and they'll stick a stent in that artery that's blocked and open it. And if they open it up fast enough, they save that muscle. So then it's like that muscle doesn't die now. So now that muscle is fine. That's why it's like incredible. Like the advancements of medicine is like crazy.
Medicine has come. Just the fact that they could they will put a wire in your crotch.
Yeah.
Follow that motherfucker all the way to your heart with a little gripper. And that gripper's holding like a spring. Yeah. And they get that spring to where it's got to go and say, we can't go anymore. And they just let that motherfucker
and they
go.
Deploy it. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. They'll pull a vein out of your ankle.
Yep. They'll harvest.
They will pull a vein out of you somewhere else in your body and just put it in your heart. You get a little blockage, they'll just do a bypass. They'll just be like, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, it's just a detour.
And does that piece ended up like dying off and falling off? That piece?
Yeah, they clamp it. So it doesn't die or fall off, but they'll just like clamp it off.
They just reroute the blood.
Yeah.
Dude, medicine is crazy. They can take images of your brain.
Yeah, bro.
And compare them to other people's brains that are also good to tell you if your brain, no, your brain looks good.
Yeah.
It's
a crazy thing.
It's mind-blowing.
They can tell if you have like some significant brain injuries just by the midline shift, like the middle of your brain. Like if it's shifted a little bit or moved to one side, like that's like real bad. Like
that shit happens?
Oh yeah. They'll be able to, there's certain things like typically it's like a bleed or something, but there's a lot of things that they can find out. I mean, it's miraculous. Like my dad has had multiple heart attacks, but he has no damage to his heart because we got him there fast enough to where they were able to catheterize him, place the stent, and save that part of the heart.
Damn.
Yeah. You can even see it on an EKG. Like that there's like little remnants, like you'll see like, like certain depressions in certain areas of the line, like every time forever. And you'll be a doctor that knows what he's looking at will look and be like, oh, you had some kind of an obstruction in this part of your heart. Like they can read, that's like a language, bro.
You know what's crazy? We got all this fucking technology in medicine and they couldn't give Nelly another inch for a couple million. They can't make your hog bigger.
Listen, that's a complex. It's a complex organ, man.
The more complex than the heart and the brain. I think we're not putting enough effort. That's what I think.
Could be. I mean, I'm surprised
there's a lack of effort.
I'm surprised that nobody's funding intense, crazy studies in medicine.
There's probably billions of dollars going into dudes trying to get. There's billions of dollars in dudes getting erections.
Yeah.
So there's definitely got to be billions of dollars in dudes trying to make dudes' hogs bigger.
Viagra was originally a blood pressure medication.
Yeah, right. I did know that. I knew it was. I thought it was like a cardiac medicine of some kind.
It was a blood pressure med, and then it like that was like a side effect, and you're like, they're like, this is actually better.
You know what? This pays more. Don't worry about your heart issue.
Yeah, man.
But there's a lot of money in there's. And especially nowadays, there's so much money in like enhancements. Yeah, the things that people do to themselves these days is crazy. Can you pass me another bottle of water?
Yeah, I got you. Whoa, you're a hydrated young fella, aren't you?
Dude, I've been drinking so much water lately. But the things that people do to themselves, bro, when people making their lips bigger, making their nose smaller, making it straighter, making it bigger, making the eyelash thing, that microblading shit they do now.
Oh, the eyebrows?
That shit is insane.
It is insane. You know what that is, though? It's
a tattoo, right?
Yeah. They're just like really, really small micro cuts, and then they just putty paint over it. And then they make the strokes that look like they're like in the shape of.
Wait, what do you talk? That's what it is?
That's microblading, yeah.
What, can you explain the procedure again?
So microblading is like a way that girls, because there's a thing when, I guess it's kind of similar with facial hair. Like there are some times where he's ready for a surgery, right? there's parts of, I guess, women's eyebrows like that. They're a little lighter than others, like they don't grow as much hair there. You ever see that girl that has like no brows from just messing with them for so many years?
Yeah.
So now they can they draw like an outline of where the eyebrows would be. This is like legit artwork for real.
I know, and it's not cheap either.
No, it's not
expensive.
You're
going to go there and drop a couple $100.
So, and it lasts for a while. It lasts for like, I'm pretty sure like at least a couple weeks, like a few weeks, probably a couple months.
A few months, and then you go get a touch up.
Yeah. So,
I know a guy if you need one.
Oh yeah, believe me, I don't. I could donate brows. So I've seen YouTube videos because I was like, "What is this? I don't understand what this is."
I thought it was a tattoo.
It is a tattoo. It's just like a tattoo done like Hawaiian style, like you know what I'm saying? It's like not a tattoo gun.
It's
Instead,
it's standing over you with a stick and a fucking rock.
Yeah, it's like, so what they do is like they do these it's microblading because they do like these really thin, I think they're like cuts. I think they're like really small slices, and they do them like in the motion in like the shape of hair.
Yes.
Right? Almost like a sketch, right? Like, you know how there's strokes that look more like hair than other ones would. So that's what they do. And then they take like a dye, like a paint, and they paint over those slices. And then when they wipe it away, it just like stains those cuts.
It's like
and it looks like
printing?
hairs. Yes.
It's like screen printing.
Yes.
My barber was
It's like
telling me-
spackling.
Yeah, my barber was telling me that he was going to go to school to get put on to do this because these guys are making so much
To do
money.
microblading?
To not just microblading, but like other cosmetic things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like he'll
Like
either,
estheticians. They can do like skin treatments and stuff like that. They can do dermal fillers, some of them.
I don't know if maybe that's what he's doing, but he told me he wants to do microblading, and he'll like, if you want freckles, he'll give them to you, but if you don't want them, he'll also take them away. I don't know if he recycles other people's freckles, but like he'll do.
My
like,
God, does he collect? He collects freckles.
collects freckles and he hands them out. But
What
no,
does he do?
like,
He just hit you with like a paintbrush, like.
I don't know. I know, but he says he wants to go to school to do this. I know there's a ton of money in it, and it's cool.
Yeah.
And he's he does like other things right now that he's able to do. Like he's been trying to hit me with the spray, he's like, yo, I'm like, I don't need any enhancements. He's like, nah, I'm telling
That's
you, man,
weird.
It makes like your hairline just sharp, and you don't understand. And I got like a little bit of like, if you see right here, I got a little bit of a little bit less foliage right there. So. At one time, I made a joke with him, and I was like, you did that to me. My last barber never did that to me. So he was like, nah, don't worry. I'll fix it. I'll do the thing on you. He's been wanting to do it on me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Motherfuckers will do their whole, like, beard. They'll give themselves, like.
It's terrifying. I watched this shit online. I watched them do it. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is crazy. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's not
y'all
just-
spraying hair on?
It's not just women with the eyebrows.
Nah, dude
Men-
was hitting people with he was putting an index card and was like, and hitting them like this.
Yeah,
Other side.
bro. I seen the same thing.
I was like, what
Yeah,
is
they hook
this?
the beard up. I get it if you don't have like if you have like a 95% beard and you just got like one spot that just need, and you're going to like a wedding or something like that.
Nah, some
Or
of
if
us,
it's your wedding.
no.
Because the truth is like when you're.
Cut that out. Some of us have beards, some of us don't. I went bald. Guess what I did? I shaved my head.
No, but listen. Let's say you were 95% not bald. You know?
I'm kind of like, I'm like 80.
And you wanted to have
75,
like
80.
a light Caesar on your wedding day. Your photographer is able to like make adjustments, and they do it with women, they do it with men. They make like little adjustments in your picture to make you look better. So if you wanted like a nice beard, or if you wanted like, just a little bit of filler on a corner, let's say you just had a corner missing, a little bit of filler for your wedding day, I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't see the need for it.
You're going to look at those pictures for the rest of your life. You know?
Yeah, and I'm always going to be like, damn.
It's
I
the
had
same
that.
reason why you're going to shape your beard up before the wedding day. You want to look nice.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I don't mean to hate on anybody that does this, but for me, I don't get it. Just you got to embrace it, and you got to age gracefully.
Oh, no, I'm not endorsing this. I'm just saying that I can see why people do it.
What I might do, I'll tell you right now, maybe a little Botox.
Okay.
I might do something like that. You see, I do a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
anybody that knows me, I'm very forehead expressive. You know what I'm saying?
You are forehead expressive.
Yeah, and you can see, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that. Look at them wrinkles and shit. Look, you see this 11 right here?
Does this camera work?
I haven't used them.
Go ahead, man. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, it might be a little dark. The lighting's different. Let's see. Oh, good. It's not working anyway. So don't worry about
You
it.
haven't clicked it.
There it is. It's a little high. It's a little high.
Want to fix you?
Yeah, right there. Right there. Let's
Boom.
see how you're looking here. Let's
Oh,
see
yeah,
how you're looking.
hey,
Bing,
hey, bing bong.
Yo, we ain't even switching over to you right now. What's going on here? All right, we're going back home. or
either
not.
way.
We'll
I
just
wanted to
stay
show
on
people
me.
your forehead.
There we go. Now it's on you. And then we're going to go back to the main. Look, we're still on you. Do something impressive.
Yo, the thing with this, you got to use it, because when you first hit it, it should have been working by now. I don't know why it's got a little delay on it.
Yeah, it's not the lower thirds either, but that's fine. But yeah, I don't see the need to do all the painting of the hair and stuff. I mean, I think people just need to the Botox I would do. That's where we were at. The Botox I might do because the Botox used in moderation is very effective and it doesn't look crazy.
Well, I think that I think little things aren't a big deal, right? I, for one, I barely get a haircut. I get a haircut because we do this podcast. If I didn't do this podcast, I wouldn't get as many haircuts as I do.
Yeah.
And even right now, don't have a haircut. So
you look great, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But I wanted to show you I was still capable of pulling in that thickness.
You gotta.
No, but I'm not I don't care about having this or that or that. I'm not big into appearance. But people go so deep, dude. Even we were talking about makeup tutorials. You look at these are different people when they're done.
Yeah, they are different people, and sometimes it's so drastically different. It's so unfair.
And what is even the standard? What's the standard, right? The lips thing is a good example because people are just shoving just shit into their lips to make them bigger and to look like somebody else. And it's I don't even who's saying that this is what attractive is.
I think that it's moving toward, because sometimes it looks good in pictures, right? And this is I think this is the way we've evolved. I think this is how the Kardashians have gotten so out of control with their plastic surgery. Khloe looks like another human. I mean, Kim looks, she looked better 10 years ago, if you ask me.
Well, look at Kylie. We watch her grow up on the show and in the media.
Yes.
And it's she was being switched up before she was even fully grown. This is the big thing. It's there's young girls that are doing alterations to themselves. Honey, you don't even know what the fuck you're gonna look like.
That's my point. It's what they're doing is, I think people are modifying their body to look better in pictures than they do in real life. Because if you look at people like the Kardashians, they look phenomenal in photos. But then you look at them moving in real life and they look weird. In normal times, normal parts throughout the day, when you see a woman that has excessive surgery, you see a man that has excessive surgery, in photos they might look okay. They might look even good sometimes. But then you look at them in real life, expressions are very weird. When you see a person smiling that has all his facial surgery, it's almost frightening.
Dude, I watched an interview of, I'm almost ashamed to say this, Selena Powell. She just did another No Jumper podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I clicked on it. I watched a little bit of it. Dude, her lips are so big that if it snowed, it would collect on her. You could sit a cup on it. She could hold 2 cigarettes.
Yeah. It's so strange how this has become a trend. It's become a thing. People just modifying their face and modifying their body to look so different.
Yeah, and then she stands up and she's got this tiny little waist and this dump truck of an ass. And I'm just who the fuck said that this was what, this is what good looking is?
Because it probably looks the way she wants to look in photos. But this is how important the idea of internet presence and social media has gotten for the majority of people. Or not the majority, for the celebrity and for the people that want to be famous. They'd rather look good in a photo than in real life,
which is
it's
mind blowing, right?
This is that concern I have about the whole metaverse shit and all that. People, people are just
coming back to the metaverse.
People on the internet, people's presence and people's presentation of themselves and the perception they want people to have of them on the internet outweighs what people think about them in real life. Even friends, people would rather, in 2022, people would rather have more Instagram followers than real life friends.
Yeah.
They would rather have 100. If you went around and just asked random people, yo, would you trade one of your best friends for 500,000 Instagram followers? They'd probably say yes.
Yeah, 100%. You can't talk to this person anymore, but we'll give you 500,000 more followers.
Yeah, that's the the upside down way society is right now. I'm telling you, I was talking to my boy about this earlier. I'm about to dead my Instagram account and just erase it entirely.
We were talking about this beforehand when we were talking. You were mentioning how you cancel your ESPN subscription, and I said that one of the things I want to get away with is also not only like companies that I don't support, like that I don't want to support, like ESPN or Showtime, or any other company that does something I don't agree with. And I'm not saying this shouldn't exist. I'm just saying they're not going to get my money, right? I want to do the same thing with social media because I think it's just so toxic. It's like
it is.
It puts up this like false perception of like reality, and I like it because I like the comedic aspect of it. I like going on social media for funny shit.
Yeah,
I like the skits. I like the sports stuff. I like to see people doing crazy tricks.
Yeah, I like the trick shot guys with the cards.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. But there's this whole other even bigger section of it where it's just like chicks with fucking enormous unrealistic asses and like enormous breasts, and it's like, how toxic is that for like I think about it as a guy who's got a young kid. Like, is that something I want my daughter to look at and then for her to think that that's what beauty is?
Yeah, or that's the stand. That's what she needs to be. That's what she needs to have.
It's so weird, right? But there's kids on it, just like I think you can't compare it to when we were young, right? Because it wasn't as like mind bending, right? The things that kids weren't allowed to watch were like The Exorcist and
like Beavis and Butthead.
You weren't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto,
yeah,
stuff like that. I don't think it's the same way where social media is so much more influential than it's GTA 1 is.
It's way more influential because GTA 1 you had to go and seek it out. Now they have access to you all the time.
So they're shoving this down your throat.
And there's science behind it. Like there's studies and they pull data and they pull all this stuff from your age, your demographic. And a lot of times they're almost accurate with some of the things that they feed you. And it's because they pull so much data, and the longer you scroll, the more money they get to continue to put out this negative stuff and to put out this propaganda and all this stuff that we don't want our kids to see and we don't want to see ourselves.
And it's funny because when you look at social media in America and then you look at some of the social medias in other countries, it's completely different. TikTok's a perfect example. If you are on TikTok and you live in it's China, right?
Yeah.
They feed you like engineering things. They want to show people like it's shown from like an educational perspective, and you can't go on it after 10 p.m.
Yeah, after 10 it shuts down.
But if you look at ours, it's like people doing mukbangs.
Yeah, and this.
Yeah, or the dances. Even the dances, I'll give them, right? Because the dances has like a creative aspect of it, right? I don't want to pull away the dances, but this just like this like
it's strictly to entertain. It's not to educate. It's nothing like that.
I do wish it educated, yeah.
Because in America now, the commodity is attention. That's all it is. They don't have to give you anything at all. They don't have to produce or supply you with anything. The only thing that they have to do is keep you watching. So, whether that be show you negative stuff, show you people getting knocked out, show you fist fights, cool. Show you girls squatting in the gym, sure. Show, this is all they show you.
Yeah, it's fun. And Spaz in the chat just says that, but do you want the government to chime in and tell you business can't operate past 10 p.m.? No, they're 100% correct. From that perspective, I don't think that the government should be, I don't think it should be, as, restricted as it is in China. I'm just using it as an example to show like how, they're using it differently. And
I'm more so speaking to parents.
But that's where the responsibility lies on, right?
Like China is, China, their government acts as your parent, your lawmaker, your all that. I'm saying that I agree with you in the chat that I don't want the government butting into businesses and discontinuing your business flow at 10 p.m. But I'm speaking to people that should have that control. Parents, pay attention to what your kids are doing. I can't tell you how many times I'm out and I see kids just staring at their phone the whole time and their parents like don't care. It's almost like their parents are glad they're on the phone because they're not bothering them. Like, here, take the phone, don't talk to me. Like, here, go do something.
I don't really mind if my kid's on the phone. It's funny, one day a lady came up to me and they were like, do me a favor, like don't let your kid be one of those kids that's like always staring into their phone. And I'm like, technology has proven to like create like smarter people. Like there's a lot of people who are like grew up at like our generation, the age of like the internet, you know, we were able to intake so much data. We learned so much because of it. So I don't mind. I think it depends on the content they're intaking on these devices,
Correct.
not necessarily if they're on them all the time.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is like constant stimulation like that sets the bar very high for the rest of their life.
Everything in
You know?
moderation.
Yeah, so like if you're seeing bright pink and bright green and bright cartoons and bright things and bright moving things all day long, when you look at regular life, that shit is dull as fuck. And then what do you want to do? You want to go back and you want to stare at the bright colors and stare at, so that's what ends up happening. I mean, it happens to us. It happens to grown-ups. I mean, how many times you pick your phone up and look at it and not even realize that you're doing it? You ever put your phone in another room and then realize how many times you look for it?
Oh yeah.
It's appalling how much we do that.
No,
and
we're
it's like,
strapped to these things.
and think about it. This influence on us only began when we were already older.
There's a lot of positives you could take from technology. Like I'm a proponent of technology. Like I feel like I've learned so much from just being around it and being in it, understanding it.
And implementing it in ways that it makes sense.
Exactly. Me and you were talking about, and we won't even get into. Me and you were talking about like a current event, and within one day, I just went to YouTube and I learned everything about it. So there are a lot of great aspects. We're past the hour.
Are we?
Yeah. It's past that a little while ago. We're 106, 107 right now.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a good one, man. That flew. Hour,
fly.
Baby.
Yeah,
hour, baby. Hour, baby.
Is there anything else you wanted to get out? Anything else you wanted to talk about before we left?
Nah, man. I think I'm good. I think I'm chilling. I think we're good to wrap, brother. That was episode 75, Masters and Them podcast. Make sure you guys get back with us on other platforms. If you're interested in the audio version, you can look at Spotify. You can go check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find the audio version, and you can always rewatch this video right here if you're interested.
Yeah.
Bing, bing.
Before we go, Monday,
yes. Monday is a special commercial holiday that we're actually not doing a podcast this coming Monday, right?
Yes.
Yes. We're not doing a podcast this coming Monday because it's a time to spend with our lovely ladies.
Yeah. We're strapped down. It's Valentine's Day, guys.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Sorry, boys.
But we're going to try to put something together to get some content out on Monday. And now that I just said that, I kind of locked us into it, right?
Yeah, so we'll check it out. And plus, you guys can follow us on Instagram because who knows? Maybe you guys will see where I'm eating.
There you go. Masters None, episode 75. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe.
That's it. That's it.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Bogotá.